So stuff we talked about, tuning, like the three lights thing. I'm not going to say too much about that, except the only like dry memorization we're going to do this week is memorizing the names of the open strings, which are E, A, D, G, B, and then another E. So come up with an acronym, like every, cool, so we'll do that. Cool, then, so the first chord we learned is E minor. And if we get on the page here, we look at it, we're down on the second line down, and, pretending that you didn't remember this, which you probably kind of still will, what you want to do is just like start at the sixth string, which is the bottom line on the tablature, and just go one string at a time, being like, alright, what am I doing? And so sixth string, nothing. Fifth string, my index finger at the second fret. Next string down, my ring finger at the second fret. All the other ones are zeros. Cool. So then, just pick through and make sure everything's ringing out. And even if you get like just make sure that it's the can't push down that hard con versus the I'm on too many strings. So we're looking to touch one string each. Not like, anything where you're like just not like off to the side. If you're over like this, it's chill. And what we're trying to avoid is over here, like being like that. We just want to be kind of like that. Awesome. So there's our first chord, and now you're just gonna like try to do the rhythm of the song one time on this chord, which goes down, down, up. It's gonna sound like. When we talked about how you use the pick, the way the guitar looks sort of implies that we just move right here. But we actually kind of play it like a percussion instrument with a bigger range of motion. If I was just right here, I would have to hit these strings a lot harder than these to get to this first string. So we need kind of like a wind up. So you're just going to be swinging away. Sometimes you're going to like completely brutalize them. It's going to sound awful. We're good with that. Like we can't really do this carefully. Cool. So you're going. Right now, just going for one good down, down, up, pause. Until you feel comfortable with that. Okay. Cool. Now you're going to try to do it twice in a row. And do that like probably, there's going to come this point where you're like, okay, I've got it. Just do it 2 to 4 more times and you'll like really actually have it.
Okay.
Cool. So now we're going to move on to the only left-hand thing that happens in the song. Having already gotten comfortable with what your right hand's going to be doing, which is this shape change to the chord G, which is the only other chord, and I wrote that up on the same line where we wrote the E minor. So the thing to remember is that your first finger stays on the same fret, so it's like you move the rest of your hand around that anchor or whatever. So we see the sixth string now, we're on the third fret, and then all the way up on the first string, we're also on the third fret, so it looks like this.
Right.
Then you probably remember it a little bit from your lesson. Cool. So before you try to do the whole strumming pattern with that too, right now you're just going to have a terribly boring 5 to 15 minutes where you just go one of these, taking however long it takes. Ultimate goal is that you need to do it like this fast. So we're zooming in on that, and we're never going to have the step where you go like gigantic pause. So right now you're like just getting that over with. This is the part that sucks. Cool. So now what we want to do, having just done that, is just try to get up to the first strum of G. So that's going to be like going. And then stop, reset, do it again until your brain actually says, okay, I could probably do that. Here's a little trick. On the very last strum of E minor, this finger can already split on its way. Here's what I mean. And it totally sounds like normal guitar playing. I can do this too. But yeah, so there we go. So that's what you're doing right now, and really get good at that.
Alright.
Nice. So now you're trying to get through the whole thing once, which will just kind of be easy and a formality. You just did the hard part. So now we're going. So just do that, repeat until you actually get good at it. And then, you'll need to spend a minute looking at switching back. And now we're going for the same exact thing we did, which is just like one good one, two good ones, but now we're doing the whole thing. So now you're trying to go once through until you actually get good at that. Then you're trying to do it twice, And then before we worry about this down, up, in the last
Yeah.
one, you're just going to pretend that the whole song goes down, up, like... And you can go like this slow. Whatever, like wherever your brain is like, okay, I can actually consciously think about this, that's where you want to be. So get good at that. Having done that, the way the actual song goes is down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. So the very last, second time we switch to G, it goes down, up, down, up. There we go. So there's your whole song. You're trying to go, and before you try to loop it or worry about that right now, same process. You're trying to get through it once successfully, really focused on it, and then twice successfully, and then try to actually play it like it's a song. So it's going to sound like... But here's your starting tempo. I just want to remind you that this is the range of motion, and it has some wrist and some arm. Same stuff everybody would do would be kind of like arm out in front and just like use. That's what everybody wants to do at first, but we're kind of more a little loose wrist like that or whatever. Cool. Maybe make a note 621 in is where we got to come as you are, which is we were going. And the only thing to emphasize is like the thing where we're trying to go, not or whatever. So yeah, with this one, just really pretend it's like just a list of notes at first. Don't worry about playing it in rhythm.
Okay,
Just
yeah.
get good at going. Then get good at going. Right there, you should just be able to chill in the same position, which is going to mean fretting like there on your finger, like in the middle of your finger. And then the rest is just...